Yo, yo, yo. Should be able to hear me now. Should be able to hear me. Yo, yo, yo. Should be able to see the screen now as well. Just make sure you can. Sweet. Okay. It's definitely been a really, really slow month. Um, on the higher time frame, I mean, we've bounced into this BISI here, took sell side, pulled up. There's not really any inefficiencies here. Um, so if there's no inefficiencies, then you go for the wicks. There's not even any wicks either. Potential on the weekly, still in that side this fair value gap. From the low to the high, it's still rejecting off the consequent encouragement here. So definitely just be really, really patient. Yo, how you doing, Rahul? Hope you're well, bro. The only thing that's catching my eye is the 4 hour time frame. We have this SIBI here. So SIBI on the 4 hour. It's traded into this nicely. So if we get the quadrants, so you get the 75%, 50%, 25%. You can see it's respecting this upper quadrant here, the 75%. So it's respected this here, it ran lower, took out sell side. It's pulled back up into this inefficiency here and this lower quadrant of 25%. So we've gone to 1 hour. It's filled this inefficiency here and back into the 25% quadrant. Not really any buy side around here. Gone 15 minutes. A little bit buy side here, buy side here. So it ran up that buy side. Potentially this order block here. And then again, that's the only thing I'm looking at the minute. But on the high time frame, it's just I'm not confident for it going short just yet. So I'm literally neutral, to be fair. So if I do get in a trade today, it would definitely be a scalp, and it's just going to be a little bit lower probability. But I want to try and get to a trade today. But if it literally doesn't set up, then it doesn't set up. Short bias, again, a little bit neutral on the higher time frames, but I would favour more the short to the long on a lower time frame. We'll look at the dollar. 15 minutes. There's a weekly opening gap. So in the new weekly opening gap on the 5th of February, so the start of this month, we're playing at the midpoint of this at the minute. Playing at the midpoint, there's a bullish order block, volume imbalance here, and at the midpoint of this. A lot of liquidity here though, that's the only thing, so we could run through this first. People think this is support. This is going to get taken out probably. So that would send euro higher for now. And then this blue box here is a daily BISI, which it has still been holding up. So let me just go on the higher time frame chart here. So this daily BISI here is still actually supporting it, because if you just get the consequent encouragement of this wick where it made the fair value gap, so the midpoint, it's still actually respecting it. So if I see a closure below this, so price closes below here, then we may see running down lower here, or potentially down here, down the sell side. But at the minute, it's still supporting it. So we could be trading higher, back into this volume imbalance, back into this buy side liquidity here. So let me just delete that for now. Back into this buy side here, which would send euro lower. So definitely just got to be patient. Or if you're trading intraday, then just make sure that you're moving your stops, you're having tight risk, because yeah, market is very manipulated at the minute. So the best thing to do is either just half the risk, or if you lose a trade, you'll be done for the day, because this time is where you can lose a lot of money. But yeah, let's see if price wants to run these lows. And let's see how it reacts to that. It's 10 minutes till 10 a.m. There's no red news at 10 a.m. There was news at 8:30. Where is 8:30 here? So ran into this SIBI and then ran lower for the sell side. At the minute, that's all I see. But yeah, just keep an eye on euro. Euro's still of this quadrant here. Has just started ranging now. But yeah, let's see what happens at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. How's your guys' weeks been though? Been all good? Nasdaq, let's have a look at Nasdaq. Nasdaq again, I mean, look at this price action since last Thursday. Just sideways, really hard to trade. So, same with ES. If dollar wants to get even lower, go from the high to the low, find a discount array, be this inefficiency here, which lines up with the midpoint, so could potentially see it fall even lower. But yeah, let's see if we can take a trade today. Our account is still at break even. Only taken one trade, and yeah, we got stopped at break even. On the 1 minute, it doesn't even have to be a shift in market structure for the silver bullet. You just want to see a clear draw liquidity, and then you want to see a fair value gap. But I do like to mix the I do like to see like a run on stops first, and then a quick displacement. So like the 2022 model on a silver bullet, that would be really nice. But yeah, silver bullet, you don't have to. It could just be a clear run on liquidity, just get in with a fair value gap between that time frame. So it's time based, so it's just a run on liquidity. So Same with the macros and stuff like that. So liquidity up here. If we're looking for both sides of the market here, this I would like to see an inversion fair value gap. So we see it break above, tap into it, break away. Now we've seen it break lower, and then if this becomes an inversion fair value gap and trades lower, then I think I'll be more confident for running this low here, which will then send euro higher. But at the minute, it's still like acting as support here. So this is where you just got to sort of sit on your hands. There is a volume imbalance as well here. That is showing support. So let me just make that grey. Let me make it red. So you can see where price just reacts around it. But yeah, I'm a little bit neutral, so this is going to be a harder day to trade until I see a clear bias on the higher time frame. Euro, again, this is what sort of thing that I'm looking for. We see price make a civvy, trades into it here, and again, just keep an eye on the candle that makes the fair value gap, the wick. So you get the consequent encouragement of that. Look how price isn't closing below that, above that, sorry. So it doesn't close above that, and then it pulls lower, breaks above, acts as support. So then once it acts as support, we can see we're going up higher. Where does it want to go up to? Potentially up here. But this 4-hour civvy is just showing that it's like struggling to get up there at the minute. So rejecting that here, pulled lower. So that's why it's just been really choppy. But that was the thing I'll be looking for on dollar. If it pulls lower at this resistance, then I'll be confident for it to run short. On the weekly, still in that BISI here. So yeah, definitely want to look at your higher time frames first to see where price wants to actually run to. It is trading inside the CIBI as well. So we have to keep that in mind. It depends. If you want to trade futures, I'm not funded on futures. I'm funded on just trading euro dollar, and I use FTMO, and they're pretty good. But yeah, there's quite a lot of funded firms now, prop firms. But FTMO, the payout is like 8 hours, and it's pretty simple. They can create an invoice as well. You can either create your own invoice, or they make you an invoice, and they send it to you, and it's pretty simple. So yeah, FTMO is pretty good. Okay, right, we're seeing this run. There's liquidity here. Dollar's taking out these lows. But yeah, what my challenge is I'm only going to take one trade. So if I take a trade and lose, then I won't take another trade. We just take read. If I take a trade and win, I won't take another trade. And if I take a trade and break even, I won't take another trade. It's literally just one a day or one trade or one setup in that session that I'm trading it. But yeah, I just want to see if I can get funded with it. So even just this price action here, look at just how slow and choppy it is. So yeah, mostly 10 to 11. Um, but sometimes I'm haven't even got the time, or sometimes I can't live stream during 10 to 11. So um, I think I did a 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Live stream. I can't remember what time I actually took the trade. Um, but yeah, most people can only fit in the 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. So that's why I try and do it. But yeah, it's best to do 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Especially if there's 10 a.m. news as well. You can use the news as like a run on liquidity, the volatility of the news to run liquidity. So even here, so like this run lower, potentially could just wait for price to want to pull back into a premium. So that's just from this high. Drop from here is in this premium as well. So just something to keep an eye on. We're trading around the equilibrium right now. At the minute, nothing's catching my eye. See how G's doing. G's ran these equal highs. So equal highs, and then also just about ran that high here. Dollar ran these lows back in the weekly opening gap, trading above it now. But yeah, guys, is also if I do take a trade, don't copy me, because I don't want you guys to lose money if I take a loss or anything like that. We can use my account for the losses and the risk. Yeah, just not really nice price action in the minute. It was nice. There was a nice short setup yesterday. I did send it into the Discord. Where was it? I think it was London session. Here. So London session, this is a nice setup here. So it makes a high, low, high, high. Displacement lower. Comes into this breaker and fair value gap. Institutional order flow entry dual here. As soon as you tap in it, it runs lower. You know you're on side. Doesn't play about. Leaves the fair value gap immediately. And then, if you're looking at a market maker sell model, so you think you split this in half. So this is like the upside of the curve and then the downside of the curve. You use the upside PD arrays for the downside PD arrays. Here, it's a fair value gap BISI. Draw that across. So respected it there. Tapped into it a little bit lower here, but I like the size of that. Draw that across, breaks below, taps into it, so it acts as an inversion fair value gap. Remember, you're cutting between the candles. And then pulls lower. Fair value gap, bearish order block. Rejects off that. Another bearish order block here. Comes into that mean threshold. Look at the mean threshold. So in the midpoint. Pulls lower. Doesn't even get into that fair value gap there, so it's breakaway gap. And runs lower before sell side down here. So that's really nice price action for London session for the downside. So yeah, London session has definitely been the mover for Euro this whole month. The US session has not been as neat as that. How often do you see a silver bullet setup per week? Depends what pair you're trading. I mean, if you're on the higher time frame, you have a bias that long, then you can just see loads of silver bullet setups per week. You can see. Just depends on the pair. You can get 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5. But it's just knowing when to stop as well. Let's take a look at dollar. What I've seen here is it's made a little high, low, high, high, lower, low. Potentially get into this fair value gap here. If we shorted it, stops would have to be above this fair value gap. But I would like to act that as a breakaway gap. And then for it to run here. Something like that, potentially. Let me just get the... I was going to enter on that one. Let me just do it because it's on the computer and I haven't used to just do it on my phone. Alright guys, don't copy me by the way. Let's just remove that. Make it neat for you guys. So yeah, I have just entered here. Let me show you. So I just made a high, low, high, high, low, low displacement, CB, in between the 10 a.m. I just got to put in my stop loss quickly. How do I do it? I'll let me put the stop on 1 sec. This is stupid software. Okay, done that. Alright, I'll put the stop loss in. Yeah, in single bullet, you definitely stick to the high time frame. I mean, you don't have to, but sticking to the high time frame, then you know it's just a better way to see the Jordan liquidity. Because again, like I said, I'm sort of neutral anyway. So seeing this might not be a market structure shift if the high time frame is long. It'd just be a run on the stops. But yeah, my stop is at 317 here. Let me actually get my exact entry as well for you guys. 287 my entry was. Alright, so yeah, so we're in. Take a look at dollar. It's bouncing off the weekly open gap nicely. Partials, first take partial will be here. Depending on how quick it runs down to it, and if it keeps running lower, would be me taking partials. Yeah, in the next couple of minutes, if it doesn't start running lower, then you sort of know you're either too early or you're wrong. So if it doesn't in the next like 2 or 3 minutes, if it doesn't leave this fair value gap and start running with speed, then you sort of know you're wrong. So just gotta be patient now. No stress. No point of worrying. As long as you risked the amount you wanted to risk, then you shouldn't be panicking at all. If you're panicking, that means you're risking too much. Take a look at dollar again. Take a look at GU. So still playing around this civvy here. At this point, I don't really like how it's just playing around it, but I will hold. It may want to run just into this little civvy here, and if it does, then I want to see an immediate reaction lower. Yeah. I want to see immediate reaction lower. If not, then it probably gets stopped out. We don't want this to act as an inversion fair value gap either. If it acts as an inversion and it starts pulling away, then it would run for this high here. So we should have, let me just check. I think we've been stopped. Yeah, we have. So that's all good. So minus 1% on the account. See, it acted as an inversion fair value gap here, so pulled away, broke above, acted as support, now running. So remove that. See dollar. Dollar could be heading lower. Like I said in the start, if you draw from the low to the high, could be wanting to run back into a discounted array. So potentially it's order block, or there's a BISI here, back into this daily BISI as well. So yeah, we take read it. And with euro, from high to low, guess it's already in a premium here, but there's a little bit of buy side above here that I may want to run to now. But yeah, if you don't know the high time frame where the draw liquidity is on the high time frame, it makes it so much more harder. That's why I just got to be so patient and just waiting for the high time frame to tell you where it wants to go. But yeah, -1% for the account. That doesn't matter. We make that back in one trade easily. Just gotta be patient with it. Hopefully, I'll be live again tomorrow as well. So see if we can take another trade, another silver bullet. But again, if there's no setup, then we won't take it. But yeah, as you can see, when I was pointed out that price was just playing around in this, I didn't like it as much. I want to see it as before I showed that other trade yesterday in London. I want to see it come into it and just immediately react lower. That's how you know you're just on the right side of the market. If price is trading around here, then that's sort of like one sign that you're not on the right side. And another sign is potentially where this city is here. If it ran that, it would have ran buy side. It would have ran buy side, tapped into the civvy, and then I would like to see an immediate reaction lower. That would be my only thing. But again, we didn't, and it just closed us out. So we knew we was on the wrong side, and yeah, that doesn't matter. Doesn't mean get straight back in to try and long it up to this buy side here. Doesn't mean to sit out. Yeah, try and have rules where it stops you from taking multiple trades, because that's when you can lose a lot of money. You can lose an account in like a single day and stuff like that. All right, dollars ran to the low of the weekly opening gap, taking more sell side. So there, take sell side, leaves lows, sell side, sell side. So it's definitely a proper choppy day today. This BISI here, not BISI, sorry, buy side liquidity. I've got from just that high here. People sold this down, put their stops here. And there's a little bit of inefficiency above that as well. That price we may want to run into. Let's see if price wants to get up into here. So it made a low, a high, high, low, low, then a high, high. So this is a breaker here. Just remove this and this. So this is a breaker, a bullish breaker. Feather leg up here. So let's see if it acts as support and then wants to run that high. Let's see if it wants to run the buy side and back into this civvy here and fill that. So tapped into this little imbalance here. Here as well. So if we're looking at the buy side of the curve and the sell side of the curve again, from this short, from this long here, you're anticipating shorts. So on the high time frame, you're anticipating shorts. So just try and picture this line here. So it made a high, low, high, high, low, low displacement. So breaker. Inside the breaker is a fair value gap here. So that would be an entry. So this would be what I'd be looking for. If the higher time frame I was bearish on it, I would have entered on this. Prices just ran into this CB up here on the buy side. And then I'll start looking for these what's they called, PD arrays, to act as an inversion. So I'd see this here as a this is a BISI, so it runs up higher, bounces. If it breaks lower, I would have seen this act as an inversion fair value gap. And if I saw that act as an inversion fair value gap, then I've been confident for it to run this low. So try and picture like a buy side of the curve, sell side of the curve. So it's making a run higher. That's a low risk sell. Then come into it for distribution here and make that a PD array, if you understand that. So same thing with sells. So if we're looking like a little bit more of a higher time frame, so 5 minute. Let's just delete this quickly. So this is sell side of the curve, buy side of the curve. So again, just picture like that. So that's a low risk sell, low risk buy, sorry. And you can use. Let me just remove everything off here. You can use the sell side PD arrays as inversions. So like here, even though I didn't respect it as much, draw that across. So draw this CB across, and then it bounces across, acts as support, so an inversion fair value gap. Again here, this one not so much, but it respects it there, comes across, and then acts as an inversion. Not as much clean as the other one here, but again that could be potentially because of the higher time frame, not as clear as where price wants to go. Let's look on the 15. 15 is a little bit more clearer actually. So CB, and then now inversion fair value gap. That's nice and neat. So it rejects it, breaks above, acts as support, trading higher. Where we're going to trade to? Well, if this acts as inversion, we're trading higher to this buy side here, this buy side above here. So if that makes sense. So this is the sell side of the curve and the buy side of the curve. So that's a market maker model, ICT market maker model. So using the sell side of the curve and then using that PD arrays. So you can also use the bearish order blocks as bullish order blocks as well. Let's have a look. Again, I just don't really like how small these candles are anyway. On the 1 minute, it'll look a lot more nicer. I'll try and find an example. Sort of here as well. So sell side, sell side of the curve, buy side of the curve. So sell, buy, fair value gap gets respected there, pulls lower. Once it breaks above, acts as an inversion fair value gap here to trade up higher. And same thing again here. CB breaks above, inversion fair value gap, so support runs up higher. So that is what true support and resistance actually is. But yeah, see, if price wants to keep going higher, then draw liquidity will be here. And the consequent encouragement, which is that orange line, is the 4-hour CB. So we'll potentially want to trade back into that. Is there a silver bullet long that we potentially missed? Let's have a look. So 10 a.m. here. I'm looking at this BISI here. Pulls into it by a tad. Again, I just don't like that choppiness. I like the fact that it ran two highs, broke lower, came back into a CB here, pulled lower, back into this CB, high, low, high, high, low, low. Potentially, if the high time frame was bearish, this could have fulfilled, took out these lows and would have ran lower. But yeah, just on the higher time frames, price wants to reach somewhere else. So yeah, that's sort of what I do, and that's how to trade the silver bullet. Use the higher time frames, and the lower time frames, you know where you're entering or what side of the market. Between 8 a.m. and 8:30, there was, or 7 a.m. to 8:30, sorry, the silver bullet. There was illiquidity here. Price runs lower, so manipulation, displacement. This candle here, or these three candles, but you can narrow it down to one candle, becomes the breaker, so bullish breaker. Inside the bullish breaker, it's fair value gap. So that could be a nice entry if you're looking for longs. So if you're only looking for longs, that is something that would interest my eye. I'd say the only thing is news came out there, so I probably wouldn't have got in on that news. But yeah, if there's no news and it ran like that, that'd be really nice for it to run higher. Yeah, let me know if that makes sense, guys. I'll definitely be live tomorrow as well, same time. But again, just all about the higher time frame. Where does price want to reach to on a higher time frame? At the minute, it could go either way, so that's why price is just moving sideways or just chopping. And if you're seem like you're losing trades on euro dollar, pound dollar, that is probably why, because on the higher time frame, dollar doesn't really know what it's doing at the minute. Well, that's my opinion anyway. So yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy the stream. I'll be live probably similar time, so like 9:45 a.m. New York time. But yeah, hope you guys did like the stream. Most of you are probably following Discord anyway. So yeah, I'll put it in Discord and Twitter as well. But yeah, I'll be live again tomorrow, guys. Have a great day. Have a great rest of the trading day, and yeah, be safe.